Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. I'm Reverend Tomás Garza, and a special thank you and shout out to all of the recent subscribers to this YouTube channel. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. And I thank you not only for your subscription, but for your commitment and dedication to your own walk. Yeah. Your dedication and commitment to your own spiritual practice, whatever that looks like. And what we're doing here is we're going through every segment of A Course in Miracles. This series of videos began as a live stream over a year and a half ago on Enlightened World Network, and there are now over 600 videos here. But if you were to scroll all the way back, fast forward all the way back to the beginning, and see the original videos, you'll see that they were offered in a live format, and this was a live stream. You will also find me deeply distracted by my cell phone and looking at the live comments, things like that, and attempting to respond while delivering the message of the Holy Spirit. And we decided about 6 months into it to pre-record all of the content. Now, incidentally, by the way, you may be joining this broadcast from Enlightened World Network's YouTube channel, where these videos also appear. So wherever you've come from, welcome. I'm glad you're here. We're in the supplements of A Course in Miracles. There are two of them. One is called Psychotherapy, Purpose, Process, and Practice. The other is called The Song of Prayer. And we will be getting to the Song of Prayer shortly here. Right now, we're in the midst of what is known as the Psychotherapy supplement here in A Course in Miracles. And substitute, as always, if you want to substitute therapist and patient for teacher and student, let's do that. That's the context that most occurs to me to deliver this message in. A therapist can be seen as a teacher, a patient as a student, because there is a lot of loaded context around the word patient in the world for some people, maybe not for you. But let's use teacher-student here. What is the role of the psychotherapist, the role of the teacher? Great question. Yeah? This is the component that we're talking about today. And briefly, a teacher is both a leader and a follower. Especially true on the spiritual path. Let's explain that just a little bit more. A teacher is only slightly more advanced in a conventional human teacher-student relationship, right? Or a therapist-patient relationship if you're in conventional therapy, or a coach-client relationship, maybe. There are many different iterations that this can take. And, well, a person who guides, a guide, right, is only slightly more advanced in that he's walked the walk, or she has walked the walk just a little bit more and has some experience, so can serve, therefore, as a guide. And what we do as teachers is simply point. We point to truth. We talk about our own experience in these videos. And as a teacher of A Course in Miracles, I teach A Course in Miracles and share from my own experience, which is sometimes funny. I mean, it really is. A sense of humor is very important on the path, isn't it? What I do is I teach this course, not my own additions and interpretations of it, this course. It is very different than a lot of other spiritual and healing modalities in this world, isn't it? It's very different in its insistence on truth, on its insistence that God is, meaning only God is. That is not something that all of us are taught. So, along the way, when we have a teacher, they're only slightly more experienced. There's nothing perfect about me, right? Reverend Tomás Garza. That's actually just a name. What you're looking at here is a projected image on your screen. My own learning plan, if you want to call it that, calls for a camera and microphone. It calls for turning on a camera and microphone and showing up and teaching. This is how I am to learn. You may not end up in this place where you're speaking to a worldwide audience. You don't have to. Our inner teacher, i.e., the Holy Spirit, knows what's best for each and every one of us. So the role of a teacher is to be both a follower and a leader. A leader who doesn't tell somebody what to do. That's not my job, to tell someone what to do. This is not a hierarchical structure. I'm not anyone's boss. Thank God. I don't want to do that. Personally, I've had many different experiences with a top-down employment situation that, well, didn't go so beautifully for me, not because of outcomes, but because internally I resisted that completely. It's not my job to tell you what to do. I point. It's up to you to walk the path, and I hope that I may inspire you to practice. And that's my hope. And it's up to you, of course. You can take what I say or what any teacher says as the truth, or you can reject it categorically or anything in between. You can ponder it. You don't have to believe anything that I say. My job is to both lead and follow. Whom do I follow? My inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, who knows all ends. All ends. I do not. This is one way that we can take a look at the phrase from Christianity, of myself I can do nothing, and realize just how powerful that really is, isn't it? Because when we try to orchestrate things and manipulate all phenomena throughout time and space, we do not know how things are going to work out, and we cannot of ourselves assure a perfect outcome. In other words, perfect meaning not perfect for us, like we get a bunch of money, or we get the guy or the girl. Not like that, not at all. It's the best, highest, most beautiful possible maximal benefit to everything that lives throughout time and space. Can we make decisions by ourselves here in the world and guarantee that it's going to be in the best interest of every living thing throughout space and time with 100% certainty? Inevitably, each one of us concludes that we cannot. That may be immediate, or there may be certain levels of resistance to it. So be it. So be it. Expect resistance on the path. The role of a teacher is to be both a student and a teacher, both a leader and a follower. Take a look at the example of Jesus. We see Jesus as a leader, do we not? A teacher, a very influential, gosh, that's an understatement, isn't it? Influential and powerful figure in world history. Huge in the realm of spirituality. Huge. People often think of Jesus and Buddha in the same breath as, well, very highly influential. Two beings who appeared as people in this world and set in motion thought systems that have lasted over 2,000 years. Jesus, by the way, is the voice. His is the voice that dictated this course. Jesus dictated A Course in Miracles to Helen Schucman. So if you're going to follow somebody, follow someone who has gone where you wish to go, who has the experience that you wish to experience, who knows all ends. Personally, I don't. When I work with somebody one-on-one, I cannot by myself say with any certainty what the outcome is going to be. And sometimes it seems like we move backwards, but in the end, it's progress, what we call forward, toward truth, toward awakening. There may be moments and days or weeks, months, years, I don't know, maybe decades, where it doesn't seem like we're making any progress at all, but ours is to continue to relax and trust and go forward. So, to the extent that you find yourself in a teacher or leader role, a good leader is a follower. Jesus was the ultimate follower of the Holy Spirit. He listened, learned to relax and trust, and taught by demonstrating, and is still teaching. This teaching continues. And it will continue as long as any one of us has not awakened. In other words, these teachings last for all time. The individual people that involve themselves in them will drop their bodies left and right because we're not a body. They come and go. But the teachings themselves are here. They're simply here, and you have stumbled across, perhaps, or perhaps you've sought out A Course in Miracles. What I like to think in my own case is it found me. And this is a powerful, powerful way to make what we call progress on the path. It's a very powerful way to set your ego aside. And that is what we're invited to do. A teacher simply points the way. I may hold your hand, and there are times where I may pick you up, so to speak, and carry you. Hey, this is what Jesus does with us, right? Some days we need a little lift, don't we? Because some days are pretty messed up. So if you find yourself in a place where you feel that you need help, What I invite you to do, and it doesn't matter who you ask, is ask for help. You may have a non-human teacher, you may have a human teacher, you may have both. Ask for help. The true healing takes place in the joining, doesn't it? It takes place when teacher and student make a decision that's aligned. They make a decision for God, for love, in favor of the Holy Spirit. And that one decision can go a long way. And it will, of course, only go as far as the readiness of either party. So, a question that we can certainly all ask ourselves is, what are we ready for? What do we really want? The workbook invites us to want the peace of God and only the peace of God. So, in closing, that's what I wish for you. The peace of God. When we want only that, progress happens. All right, guys, thank you so much, as always, for joining me. And I will see you right back here. And we will continue through this supplement, the psychotherapy supplement. Very, very interesting stuff. All right, guys, thank you so much.